Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Edna J. White, and I'm so glad you're here today. I have a topic for you. I'm going to talk about today some fundamental lessons I learned when I was 30 that helped me in my 40s. So, we all have lessons that we learned and that we go through, and life teaches us a whole lot. It just gets us ready for the next stage of life. Some of us listen and some of us don't. But I'm going to share with you things that I know that I learned that maybe you can identify with. And if you do, holla at me in the comment section. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends because I have a goal of making my mark in YouTube. So, my lesson today is some lessons that I totally, fully understand. I mean, I got it all the way at 30 and 40. It helped me at 40. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that 10-year spans teach you for the next 10 years. Okay? So, my number one is acquire knowledge, not stuff. Stuff seems to weigh you down, knowledge seems to set you free. I don't can't tell you enough how when I started looking in my closet and evaluating why do I need 10 pairs of shoes when there's 7 days a week and I only have 2 feet. I remember when I lived in China and I one of my students used to always take me out after school and we would talk, we'd have conversational English so he would get sort of the skill because he was traveling overseas to be an IT tech in Texas, and that was his plan. So I said to him, "Wow, you're always taking me to stores to buy stuff, and I'm wondering why you don't buy new sneakers." He said, "These sneakers are comfortable." He said, "Why would I buy more sneakers when I only have 2 feet? And why would I need different types of sneakers when these are comfortable?" So ever since then, I learned to be a minimalist from China, believe it or not. So I don't buy a lot of things. I reuse things. I repurpose things. I don't have a lot of stuff because in my life, stuff meant for me the stuff in my mind. But I'm talking about stuff that's in your house. Don't have a lot of stuff. I used to spend lots of money on expensive things, expensive electronics. I used to spend a lot of money. I remember one time I spent $175 for a belt. It was a snakeskin belt, by the way. But $175. And believe it or not, I don't even know where that belt is at this moment. Knowledge sets you free. When I started obtaining knowledge and becoming more involved with people's lives and being connecting with them and creating experiences, I became free. Like that was good enough for me. Now I spend money on books, online courses. I remember worrying about, when I was coaching, you need a coach, you need a mentor, you need someone to work with you. And I was like, I don't want to pay for that if I know better. But you know what I said? I need someone, I need to invest in myself and I need to invest in someone else. If I want that in my life, why wouldn't I do that in someone else's life? If I want somebody to buy my service, why won't I invest in myself to do that with someone else? So saving money is wonderful, but when you invest in yourself, when you buy books, online courses, and expand your knowledge, you are helping yourself earn more money for the future. See, many people don't like to buy into life coaching. They don't like to buy into therapy. They don't like to buy into doctor's visits. They like to buy into dental visits, but it expands you. It It creates a better you. It takes care of you. It invests in you. So invest in yourself, not in stuff. Number two, you are your best investment. Okay. 401ks are great. I have some. IRAs are great. I have a lot. Tesla, I have an investment in that too. And Bitcoin, not yet, are great investments as of today. But you are far better an investment than any of those will ever be. There are lots of ways to invest in yourself. Buy a gym membership, buy a gym app, read books, sleep 8 hours a night, talk to a therapist, invest in a coach to get you from one place to the next. When you make these investments, you improve your overall score as a human being. Isn't that great? Yay! Which elevates your confidence, your well being, your earning potential, and your general happiness. You never make a better return on your investment, ROI, than money and time spent in bing bing yourself. Number three, not enough hours in a day is BS. I'm so tired of people saying that to me. I don't have enough hours in the day to do what I need to do. BS. We all have the same hours. Why come I get things done? Why come they get things done? Why come she gets things done? Why come he gets things done and you don't? You have the time to do anything you want. It's all about priorities. Don't believe me? Check your daily screen time or how much time you waste watching shows or playing video games. Check this schedule. Go on your phone and go on time used for your phone. It'll show you how much time you spent on Facebook, how much time you spent on Instagram, how much time you watched videos. It'll show you all that. Priorities. Every time I tell myself I don't have time for that, what I'm really saying is that's not a priority for me right now. Think about that. Number four, only do things that you want to do. You know, I'm that one that always says no with a period, not with an exclamation, because that means you have to prove something to somebody. No with a period. No explanation, no exclamation mark, no question mark, nothing. You just can't do it. I juggle many different priorities, including my job that I have, my writing, my entrepreneurial things, my mentorships, my community advocacy, my personal goals, my relationships. But there's some one thing in common, things all I want to do, and they're all that make me a better person. Even though it took until the age of 30 for me to realize that, I am quite proud to have learned this lesson in my early part of my life. Now, applying it took till I was 40. I learned it, but I applied it in 40. I feel like many others live their entire lives according to someone else's plan. I started doing that early on in my life. When I was 18, I started giving my life to an organization that took and never gave. And my entire plan went kaput. And I went kaput afterwards and had no plan, no direction. So I know no one gets a schedule to my life except for me. Life's too short to allow somebody else to metaphorically create your worlds. You know, it's not that I always keep the schedules, but let me just tell you, at least I know that it's my choice to keep my schedule. And whenever I want, I have the power to stop and do something else instead. I always do what I want. And I'm telling you to always do what you want. Five, your phone is just a distraction. It's a tiny object, shiny, and it's always, like right now, always within arm's reach with full access to rabbit hole ideas. And I'll tell you why. The other day I was on my phone and I was supposed to be texting somebody a message, and I go on and I'm get caught up with the Facebook page, and I forget who I'm supposed to be texting. And I said to myself right then, I'm not doing that anymore. Shoot, I spent tons of time browsing, just waiting for someone to kind of email me back or respond to a post that I put up. And it's really like a shot of dopamine. It's really bad. All that time I was waiting for someone to answer me or respond, it's the biggest distraction that I could have ever invested in. So now I don't sleep with my phone. It goes in the room, it goes in the living room. I don't have my phone everywhere. I schedule my time to be on my phone. I put the phone down and I get to work. I work on the things that I want to do. You need to put the phone down and get back to business. 6, the perfect time never comes. Will always be a super justifiable, totally realistic excuse not to do something. I'm not kidding. There's a lot of legitimate reasons against going back to school or starting a new project or settling down or whatever else. There's always an excuse. That's a problem. There's always something, which is why if you want it bad enough, you'll make it a priority and just do it and not have an excuse. It doesn't matter what else is going on in your life. If it's important to you, you'll figure it out and make it work. 7, you never know how or where life is going to take you. Whew, that's a tough one. So always be willing to take a chance. I used to hear people or my clients say, that's pretty risky. Just to decide to get up in the morning and go skiing, get up in the morning, get a ticket to go here. That's scary. I remember when I was going to China, no one believed me. I was going, even my kids, except for my daughter, Christina. No one believed me. And I kissed everybody. My sister started crying. You're really leaving? I said, yeah. I told you I was leaving. My neighbors were upset. You're leaving? Oh my God. They all come out, gave me goodbyes. And when I got there, I remember their day. Okay, so it was Thursday. They rolled back 24 hours. So as I was on Wednesday's time, and I kind of got the hotel situation kind of screwed up, and I was like, oh my gosh! But they were so kind, and they got me a hotel. They got me settled down, and I remember I couldn't even sleep because I was like I couldn't even know what time it was. I was so screwed up. Then when I did reach my destination, I slept completely 24 hours. Never did that in my life. But when I did wake up, I looked out the window and it was this beautiful, I don't know, they were like blossoms. They're cherry blossoms, really. And they're cherry trees. And it was like floating in the air, and it was like a almost like a jellyfish in the air, but it was a blossom, and it was going like this. And I looked out the window and I said, wow, I'm really by myself. So if I get sick, injured, or die, or have fun, or have this amazing experience, I'm all by myself. I took a chance, and it was the best decision of my life. It turned my whole life around. Like it gave me, woo! It was exciting. The best job that I ever had in my life was that going to China. I took the chance by talking to my goddaughter, or I call her my baby daughter, Rachel, and um, asked her about it. She went for 1 month, and she said, "Just put your resume out there." It was the best thing. After my sixth interview, I knew where I was going, and I had the best time. Don't be reluctant about taking a chance. Don't cancel things because you're not sure. The best life experiences I've ever had was the spur of the moment. Freak it, do it, have an adventure. Time and time again, life surprises you. And I got the best lesson that I ever could have gotten. You know, you can plan all you want, but it's those unplanned events that make life spectacular. Because I learned in a year how I could live the rest of my life on spontaneity. And I really, you know how they said Stella got her groove back? I really got my groove back. I got my life back from a year experience somewhere else on the spur of the moment. 8, this is the best one ever. Love yourself first. You won't find what you're missing internally in someone else. Love yourself first. What you don't have, give it to yourself and it'll come along. When you are just aimlessly not loving yourself, you'll get somebody who's not loving themselves. You'll be around people that don't love themselves, and you'll be a bunch of doing nothing. Love yourself first, ladies and gentlemen. 9. With others, love isn't enough. In my life, I married a man that I thought I loved. Years later, we were separated, and then I was eventually divorced. Love for others is simply not enough. Now, I understand there's a lot of other factors that need to be considered when choosing a lifelong partner, including the big things like, do you agree on kids and how to raise them? Do you agree, or how do you spend your money? Do you agree on how much time we spend together? But also, there's these little things like the nuances. Do you put your socks on the floor and leave them? Do you have a laundry bin? How often do you shave? How often do you brush your teeth? How do you load the dishwasher? How hot do you like it? How cold do you like it? Wherever total agreement isn't possible, compromise and willingness to make it work are what dedicate a successful relationship. And when those are not present, you end up separated and divorced, whether it be husband or wife or friendships, sisters or brothers, end up separated. Last one I'm going to give you, and I'm going to get off the line. 10. It's totally okay to break routine. In fact, you should break your routines regularly. I I get into a routine, and I swore that I was not going to let no one take my time from meditation and exercise. But as my business grew, people were asking me to come on Zoom, 7:30, 8:30, and those were my times. Well, I had to kind of reconstruct Okay, if I got up at 7:30 and it was on Zoom, I had to have my um, exercise time at 9 and my meditation at 9:30. Routines are awesome because that's what keeps me on task until they're not. Just case in point, just what I told you. It leads you to this plateau that you can't. It's like, you know how you go flatlining, the lines of your heart go flatline. That's a routine. But if you ever so often you have like a hiccup, you know how to snap back and you know how to make it work. So you're working for yourself. So when that no longer works, you know there's another way that could work. So life changes, but smart people like us and me adapt. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I couldn't think of a better way to tell you today on all the stuff that I learned and then I used in my 40s. All I'm telling you is to keep learning, keep being smart, keep working smart, keep being internally available, alive, instead of living relatable, instead of, in relationship with the wrong thing, but relatable, something that keeps going on and on. Always have that ing at the end of what you're doing because life is amazing. And I know you can find fundamental life lessons at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, even in the hundreds. This is Edna J. White, and I'm so glad you were with me today. I'm signing off. Good night.